Have you ever felt like your relationship has lost spark due to daily responsibilities? Alma and Louise, as well as Clara and Javier, know this feeling all too well. Their love stories started out with passion and connection, but as time went on, life got in the way, and their once vibrant intimacy faded into the background. But what if it's possible to reignite that spark, regardless of the duration of your relationship? Join us as we explore these couples' heartfelt journeys of rediscovery, vulnerability, and renewal, and learn how open communication can change a relationship. Watch until the end to find powerful insights that could bring new light to your own relationships. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and ring the warning bell to stay up to date on all of our new videos. I can't wait to hear what you think about today's topic. If you like the videos, please leave a comment below. If the videos don't resonate with you, please rate them with a 0. Your opinion is essential to me because it helps me make better videos that fit your interests. Allow us to begin. Alma and Louise were a loving pair who had been married for 15 years. Their journey together was filled with love, laughter, and many memories they shared. The demands of raising 3 active children while also dealing with the stress of their own jobs made their days a whirlwind of routines and duties. In the middle of all this chaos, the romantic intimacy they used to enjoy felt like a distant memory. The constant stress of daily tasks had pushed aside the spark that ignited their love. As summer welcomed the warm air with its golden glow, Alma felt a yearning that it was time to reignite the flames of passion that had dimmed over the years. After reading a heartfelt article about the transformative power of open communication in relationships, she felt a glimmer of hope. The article talked about how vulnerability and transparency could deepen the bonds between partners, breathing life back into what had once felt routine, inspired, and resolute. Alma dreamed of a romantic dinner that night because she thought that this small but important act could lead to something big. Lise arrived home to a breathtaking view. Bright flowers gently sway in the cool evening breeze, while flickering candles create a warm glow on the dinner table. Alma stood there beaming with happiness and anticipation, her smile lighting up the room. The smell of a lovingly prepared dinner filled the air, inviting him to savor not only the meal, but also the moment after that. They sat down on the couch, surrounded by a comforting closeness that they had missed for too long in that sacred space. Alma bravely let her guard down and shared her deepest thoughts and fears. She talked about how lonely she felt and how much she missed the closeness they used to have. Louise was shocked and deeply grateful for Alma's honesty. He responded by talking about his own problems and admitting that he sometimes felt an unsettling void and a yearning for a deeper connection that seemed just out of reach. Their exchange turned into a heartfelt conversation where vulnerability became the foundation of their reconnection. As they dug deeper, Alma stressed how important it was to explore each other's needs and desires in their intimate life. They were honest about what brought them joy and fulfillment, as well as their worries and discomforts. The talk paved the way for mutual understanding, with both partners agreeing that respect and reciprocity are important for keeping their partnership strong. Louis told her that he missed being close to her so that they could share not only their bodies but also their souls, creating a safe place of love and acceptance with open hearts and a renewed dedication. To reconnect and rediscover the intimacy that the stresses of everyday life had clouded, Alma and Louise decided to take a sacred retreat. They approached this intimate exploration with kindness and respect, making sure that each person felt valued and loved. Through honest communication that wasn't based on judgment, they found new depths in their relationship, which sparked a flame of passion that burned brighter than ever in the months that followed. Alma and Louise grew closer when they realized that the key to keeping the spark alive in their relationship was constant conversation and unwavering respect. They became braver at expressing their needs and listening to others. With understanding and compassion, their physical closeness turned into a deep emotional bond that wrapped them in warmth and comfort. As the days went by, their love grew, reminding them that marriage is a dance that is always changing, with the beats of open communication and shared understanding keeping the music going. Clara and Javier began to come together. Clara and Javier had been happily married for a decade, their journey together marked by moments of joy and challenges alike. Their relationship began with a vibrant spark, an undeniable chemistry that seemed to light up their world. However, as the years unfolded and responsibilities mounted, that once bright spark began to fade into a soft ember. With two energetic young children and demanding jobs that consumed much of their time and energy, the intimacy that had once flourished between them gradually took a back seat, leaving them both yearning for the profound connection they once shared. One day, while tidying up the house, Clara felt an overwhelming wave of nostalgia wash over her. She missed the deep emotional connection and passionate moments that had once defined their love. Memories of stolen kisses and whispered secrets danced through her mind, reminding her of a time when they had effortlessly shared their hearts and bodies. Determined to reignite that flame, Clara decided to make their marriage more intimate again. She dedicated hours to researching strategies for rekindling her relationship with her partner, perusing articles and books on the subjects of love, intimacy, and communication power. When Clara found a book that really spoke to her, it talked about how important open conversation and mutual respect are for a couple's sexual life. Clara knew it was time to bring up the subject with Javier after reading the book. After putting their kids to bed one peaceful night, she got up the nerve to ask him to join her on the couch. As Clara talked about her feelings and how much she missed the connection they had almost forgotten, the familiar space felt charged with potential. When Javier first heard Clara's honesty, he was shocked and felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. He felt distance growing, but didn't know how to express it. Clara's openness made it safe for him to share his own thoughts and feelings. As they talked, they both felt relieved. They realized they weren't the only ones going through difficult times. They decided to work on their relationship and find new ways to reconnect deeply. They boldly planned a weekend getaway, entrusting their children to the care of their loving grandparents. This retreat wasn't just a vacation. It was a chance to rediscover each other without the distractions of everyday life for that precious weekend. When Clara and Javier set aside time to be alone with each other, they talked deeply about their wants, fantasies, and the dreams they still had to explore as a pair. In a beautiful evening, with the stars shining and candles glowing, Clara leaned closer to Javier and asked him a question that had been on her mind. "Would you like to try something new in our intimacy?" Her eyes were sparkling with interest. Javier looked at her for a moment with thought. Crossing his face as he thought about her question, he finally told her, barely above a whisper, that he had always wanted to be closer to her physically and emotionally, but he had never felt safe saying this. As they walked through this private area, they shared their deepest desires and fears, making them feel everything. Clara and Javier soon realized their love went beyond touch. It was also about caring for each other's hearts and sharing their weaknesses. As the weekend came to a close, each revelation brought them closer together, weaving their hearts together with threads of understanding and empathy. They realized that the journey to rekindling their passion wasn't just about going back to old habits. It was about making new paths toward a deeper, more fulfilling relationship. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please leave a comment below number 1 to let me know you are still watching it with me. Clara and Javier returned home completely transformed. They were full of new hope and joy. Discovered a deep truth. All forms of intimacy require work, communication, and a willingness to be open and vulnerable. With their hearts wide open and their promise to each other, they promised to treasure and prioritize their relationship, knowing that the spark that had once lit the fire in their love could be brought back to life as a living reality. Clara, who really wanted to bring the spark back into her marriage, eagerly reassured Javier that she was ready to explore new levels of intimacy with him. She made it clear that they would do this together, with comfort and respect for each other's feelings and limits. That night, Clara and Javier made a sacred space in their living room by letting themselves be open and vulnerable with each other. As they sat close together, the air was filled with a mix of anticipation and tenderness, and they had an honest conversation about their wants and needs. Clara expressed her desire for deeper mental and emotional growth in an honest and heartfelt manner. Being physically close, she told him how important it was to feel safe and loved in their close relationship, which made Javier more likely to talk about his own feelings and thoughts. Javier said he felt a distance between them and a longing for something deeper than their daily lives after being surprised and relieved they could talk about it. With patience and tenderness, they decided to try new forms of intimacy, taking their time to make sure that each experience was fulfilling for both of them. They found that their newfound communication helped them understand each other's needs more deeply. As they ventured into this realm together, every touch, kiss, and whispered word became a celebration of their shared journey. They were no longer just partners. They were explorers, eager to find uncharted territories of pleasure and connection. One evening, they shared a candle at dinner, which Clara had prepared with love, each dish a work of care and attention. Afterward, they cuddled on the couch. Clara asked Javier what he thought of when he thought about being close to someone. After he thought about it for a moment, Javier told Clara that he wanted to be closer to her emotionally and physically. He had always wanted to say what he wanted, but had been afraid to do so because of past fears. Clara listened carefully and nodded to show that she understood. She was thankful for his honesty. They realized that this way of talking was necessary to build a better relationship based on trust and understanding, so they agreed to have an open conversation. Clara and Javier talked more about their hopes and dreams, creating a safe space where neither felt rushed or judged. They shared their interest in each other's likes and dislikes, which helped them create a new story for their intimate life. Their exploration included not only physical acts, but also emotional bonding as they shared their fears, hopes, and even the vulnerable moments that made them human. On their way back home after a transformative weekend away, Clara and Javier felt a surge of emotions. With a renewed pledge to each other, they promised to put their relationship first. They decided that busy lives should never get in the way of their love, so they set aside regular date nights as sacred times to connect without any other things going on. It became a tradition for them to dress up, laugh, and just enjoy each other's company on these nights. Over the next few months, they experienced a renewed sense of romance, something they had previously struggled to find. It was amazing to see how much Clara and Javier's relationship changed. The spark that they thought was dead now burned brightly. Through warmth, joy, and connection, they learned that intimacy is a complex experience that includes emotional depth, vulnerability, and honest communication. With each shared moment, they learned more about each other, which reinforced their belief that love is an active commitment that needs constant care and attention as they navigated this newfound intimacy. It was important for both Clara and Javier to have a rich emotional landscape in their relationship. They learned that real intimacy was more than just sexual acts. it was about making a safe space for each other to explore and grow. Clara found joy in expressing her desires, and in turn she discovered that sharing her pleasure with Javier not only enhanced their connection, but also solidified the love they had built together. In time, they realized that women who embrace their own desires and communicate openly with their partners through acts of intimacy like oral sex or other expressions of affection often cultivate an environment of love and appreciation. By showing joy in making their partners feel good, they reinforced a bond that thrived on reciprocity, trust, and affection. This dynamic allowed both Clara and Javier to feel valued and desired, enriching their love life in ways they had never imagined. With every passing day, Clara and Javier found themselves in a blossoming relationship that continually evolved. They embraced the concept that intimacy was not a destination, but rather an ongoing journey, one that required patience, understanding, and an unwavering commitment to each other. They learned to celebrate not only the milestones, but also the small victories. Clara and Javier treasured the tender moments they shared, the playful banter that rekindled their spirits, and the late-night conversations that allowed them to delve deeper into each other's hearts. In the end, Clara and Javier learned that their relationship was based on their love for each other and their willingness to dance with intimacy. Each step of their journey showed how strong, passionate, and connected they were. They came out of it not just as a couple, but as partners committed to nurturing a love that was both vibrant and deeply satisfying. It reminded them that in the dance of love, every heartbeat, every shared moment, and every whispered desire was a precious note in the symphony of their lives together. Thank you for joining us on this journey of love, intimacy, and connection. What new things have you learned from Alma Louise? The stories of Clara and Javier. We want to know what you think. Leave a comment below with one thing you've learned that you're going to use in your own life. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing stories and relationship tips.